Game one here on I'm blanking. Romanticide. In the top left corner of the map, playing for the Afrika Freaks, it is TY.
And spawning here at the bottom right corner of the map is the blue Zerg player playing for Team Envy, hailing from Korea, guys. It is the myth, the legend, is DRG. Now we're here on the map of love, the map of romance. So TeaDragon, I'm gonna assume that you're a pretty romantic guy. What is your what's your go-to like classic first date here? Like how would you go about it?
Well, it starts off with a couple of laptops. You know, you roll out the mouse pads, and then you're gonna hit them with the keyboard and the mouse. You boot up StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void, and you're all set.
Oh my goodness,
That's all you need.
That's some revolutionary tips there, guys. If you're having some down luck on your love life and want to make some moves, just play StarCraft 2 with your girl or your guy, and that shall do it.
Yep, it never fails.
Never is in quotes, guys.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep.
Pastor's like, oh, and this is why I'm single. Oh man. StarCraft 2, the game of love.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely not the game of, you know, pain and suffering and raging and sadness and all of those negative emotions that a lot of us may or may not feel. I do like this opening from DRG though, just, you know, being able to get out those queens a bit faster, routing those lings. Oh, actually hiding the lings, I do like that. Not sure what purpose that's going to serve, but it does look like DRG is not planning to, you know, ling flood or anything like that. Now, is the Reaper going to spot the lings? Oh.
Oh, he did spot it, but I'm not sure he paid attention as the Reaper isn't making his way into the main bases. And I'm not quite sure what these lings were used for. I feel like they could have been better served to just go across the map, but he is going to go ahead and use them to defend against this pesky Reaper. Nice little micro save there on those drones.
Oh no. Okay. Okay. All right. That was interesting, right? We did see the spore crawlers being morphed from the low health drones, and they were actually canceled just a little bit early, allowing the Reaper to pick off one drone, which of course, you know, in the grand scheme of things is really no big deal. Now we do see DRG taking that relatively quick third at the triangle location, not opting for the low ground straightaway third, so bit of a stylistic choice, I would say.
Alright, let's see here. What do we got? 1-1-1 build here coming out of TY. Hellions out in the play. So, yeah, kind of pretty standard. And so far, also standard on DRG's side. He is getting ling speed. Will he stick with kind of ling bailing meterless, do you think? Or he's going to go ahead and respond with Roach Warren against these Hellions that's coming his way very soon. What do you think?
Yeah, now I don't know if our audience has, I'm assuming a lot of our audience has seen the recent GSL finals, but I don't know, DRG is definitely not rogue, I want to say. And DRG is, you know, famous for his Mutaling Bane, and Mutaling Bane is one of the most common styles out there, so I'm a believer in that. I'm a believer. I personally prefer Hydraling Bane, but that's, again, stylistic, so I don't think we're going to see Roaches this game, simply because, you know, it's pretty quickly approaching 4:30, and we're not seeing a Roach Worm yet. Now, we do see that Overlord speed just sort of poking around in here, seeing that it will, in fact, be a bio follow-up, as expected, with that quick third. Command center already completed. But, yeah, I don't know. I think both players are just gearing up for a very standard sort of bio versus Ling Bane, at the very least, Ling Bane sort of style for this game here.
Now, I do like what DRG did, because, again, this map on Romanticide, the main base is so huge that it's very difficult to just kind of dive your Overlord in. So what he did was he actually went for Overlord speed, and he kind of delayed his tech because he wanted to finish scouting to see what's up. What is TY going for? He had a really crucial, nice little scout there with the fast third CC So, like you said, right now he can kind of just macro up, spread those creep tumor. You can see those creep tumor spreading like wildfire right now. It's like almost halfway done already, and we should see his tech of choice once the lair is done. He just started his lair, and again, he can afford to go for the late lair because he did scout the early third, which means not a lot of aggression is coming across the map, and DRG is taking full advantage of it as he is just making his tech, building a lot of drones into production and getting his upgrades as well.
Yeah, I really like this play from DRG. I've seen this a few times where we see the Zerg actually going for a relatively quick double evo. Now, I say quick, but we have to remember that these upgrades for our Zerg did start relatively, like, you know, normal, I would say, in the grand scheme of any sort of standard ZVT. But it was just because, like you said, we saw that quick third orbital coming out of TY. So that makes this +1/+1 from our Zerg just a little bit faster than the Terrans. And of course, as we all know, upgrades matter a lot. And having that 1/1 on your Lings, even without Banelings, it makes defense a lot easier. Now, defense is going to be very important here, as we do see a round of Banelings being morphed just barely in time for this bio pushing forward. It is a little bit scary. We do see a lot of Marines backed up by, you know, 4 Hellions, a couple of tanks, and that is a pretty nasty siege position. So we're going to have to see if slow Banelings are enough to deal with this army. Now, we do see a couple of Queens. Yep, there we go. Now, is the third Queen going to survive? Nope. But those Banelings are going to come back forward. We do see a Ling counterattack, dealing a significant amount of damage, taking out an entire mineral line and more. But this bio up front, how is DRG going to deal with it? It looks like he's going to pounce on it with the other Ling Bane. And like I said, that +1/+1, you know, you shred through that bio real quick.
Yeah, very impressive hold considering he was not able to take down the rocks, so he didn't have the greatest surface area. But there's only one tank in the behind that rock, so he was able to kind of get this around on the Marines. A huge pick-up there with the counterattack with the Lings, picking up, I think, 17 SCVs there. Now, he is going to have to sacrifice this hatchery, but it's okay. He still has another hatchery down at the 6 o'clock position. He's way ahead in the drone count. I do feel like he should wait here for Bailing Speed to finish. And again, now it just finished, and I'm loving DRG's position right now. He is a little bit behind on the army count, but economic-wise, I do favor DRG. And again, he does have those Banelings if need be, and he now is throwing down his Spire for the good measure. The Ling Baneling Mutalisk composition is on the way.
That's right. Now we do see TY, you know, just sort of sniffing out, sussing out this 5th base, now turned to 4th base location from DRG. Gonna immediately hit it, and now this is where things become scary in the mid game. You know, one wrong engagement from either player, and the game could be over. Now we do see another gigantic Ling counterattack, or nope, it's just gonna wrap around and try to find the siege tanks in the back, as that 4th base is picked off again. So, you know, another 4th base being picked off after this could turn the tide in favor of TY. Now that is a lot of Ling Bane, as we see the Spire just about to finish. +2/+2 for both of our players is about 2/3 done. Yeah, this is definitely going to turn into a very macro-oriented game, more than it already has been.
Yeah, now TY is on a ticker because the Spire just finished, which means Mutalisks are going to be on the way, which means all these drop harass that TY is attempting is going to be shut down very hard. Now he does still have a little bit of time here because there's only 2 Mutalisks on the production, and oh, actually getting a really nasty supply block right here. He's got a lot of gas banked up. He just can't make those Mutalisks, so a little bit of a mistake coming from DRG. This might be TY's opening.
Yeah, now we're gonna have to see, is this Ling Bane in the top corner gonna be enough? Yep, that triple drop picks up and gets out of there real quick. Now we do see the 7 mutas being produced. Finally, DRG being able to spend at least a little bit of his money. We see the first 2 mutas, ooh, just barely getting picked off. The drone line is being pulled, and we are seeing one of the strengths of TY, you know, being able to drop harass in multiple places, staying safe at home, unlike in the earlier parts of the game where he had an entire mineral line being picked off by a Ling counterattack. But now these mutas are, you know, full out on force in the field and being able to pick off these medevacs. So the game has changed just a little bit at this point in time.
Yeah. So now all the drop plays are pretty much going to be a risk for TY. Now DRG, I do really want him to start spreading the creep down in the bottom side, because I think that's kind of lacking right now. I think he's kind of momentarily forgotten his creep spread because of, I mean, to be fair, he has been getting harassed by TY in the past couple of minutes, so I don't fault him for forgetting. But so far he does have, at least at the very least, he does have map control. He has the map vision as well, and right now it is DRG's that's going to be putting on the aggression.
Yeah, and TY caught just a little bit out of position. That orbital is forced to lift off. Good pullback on the SCVs, immediately pulling them to safety. But these Banes are rolling forward. Some decent connections, but I don't think it's enough for this Muta and Ling army. Now, the orbital is picked off, and that is a pretty big pickoff. But when you don't have Banelings with that army, it doesn't seem like you can engage that bio.
Yeah, well, right now he needs to replenish those Banelings like ASAP, because TY is preparing a counter attack. And oh, look at this, TY actually floating his main command center into that third base there. So at least at the very least he can make use of that command center. But the main point of contention is here on the bottom left side, and TeaDragon, that's not looking like the biggest army from our Terran player.
Yeah, definitely not. Now we do see that supply as well, right? DRG was maxed going into this engagement, and beyond, TY unfortunately was not. And we see just the sheer amount of mutas being able to engage the bio along with the muta and Ling, along with the Ling and Bane. Now those Widow Mines do finally shoo away this giant Zerg force, but they unburrow, and it looks like the mutas can pounce once again. Oh, very, very good micro from DRG, just making sure that the Widow Mines don't actually detonate too much, and actually making sure that the Banelings detonate on top of the Widow Mines and taking care of them. Now it looks like DRG has finally solidified his lead in this game. How many mutas are out on the field? 25 mutas. That is a ridiculous number. That could one-shot a lot of things, I'm pretty sure. Now, those mutas are going to shark around as DRG finally maxes back out. Now, TY's only saving grace in this game so far is that his +3/+3 is going to finish, whereas a Hive is nowhere to be found. Infestation Pit only just now about to finish. 13 SCVs are going down. The orbital as well, just barely... Oh! Okay, the orbital does go down, so... Yeah, DRG handling those mutas like a pro, but I don't know if... Yeah, I don't know, because this really, again, could still go either way, you know? One bad engagement for either player, really.
Yeah, but yeah, DRG definitely does have his hands on this game, because right now TY has been shrunk to only 2 bases left, and DRG has a bunch left over, and 10 drone just went down. Okay, it looks like a Widowmine drop did commence here at the 6 o'clock. I apologize, didn't catch that, as there was what looked like a big attack coming here onto the right side. But oh, actually the Mutas are going to go ahead and go for a counterattack. DRG is going to go ahead and try to rely on these Banelings to hold on to this base. And let's see how and if he can hold on to this hatchery.
That is so many Lings and Banes. I do like the Marauders up front taking that damage, but the Lings are going to shred them to pieces. Those mutas did deal quite a decent amount of damage, but bio reinforcements did finally shoo them away after only 3 SCVs were killed. This supply lead, you know, it's definitely looking more and more in favor of DRG as time goes on. These Banes are going to roll forward and even kill the rocks with their splash damage. And it looks like TY is going to try to reinforce using that single Thor as his anchor, but yeah, this is getting quite desperate for our red Terran player, as if he does not deal significant amounts of damage now, it's going to become even more difficult for him to survive later on in the game.
Yeah, it's not looking good for our Terran player. And you have to wonder, like, what can he do at this point? The one thing he does have in his favor is he's on 3/3 upgrades compared to the 2/2 of DRG, and there's also the 2 plus a 2 plus 2 attack flyers. And so right now TY does have an upgrade lead, but he doesn't quite have that army composition to fight off against what DRG. Like, all his army is mainly in Marines right now, and maybe a few Widow Mines, but Ling, Baneling, and Muleless can clean them up with some nice split.
Yeah, like you said, excellent micro, right? Once you have good splits, once you have good control over your army, making sure that it's not detonated immediately. And GG is called. DRG actually takes the game. Spawning in the top left corner of the map, playing for Team Envy as the blue Zerg. He is on match point, up 1-0. Can he close it out here? It is DRG.
And spawning here at the bottom right is the red Terran player, playing for the team of Afrika Freaks. Give it up for TY.
Yeah, it really wasn't that TY, made any sort of major mistake. It's just that, he took a bit too much damage from the counterattacks and didn't quite deal enough on the other side of the map. Now, he did kill quite a few bases, and for a period of time, it looked like he was containing DRG on 3 bases only, which is a little bit uncomfortable as a Zerg because you always want to expand, you always want to out-macro your opponent, but DRG was able to hold on, and eventually, like you said, he got into his comfort zone. He got into that very, very heavy mid-game Mutaling Bane maxed out style where he just sort of steamrolled every engagement after that, and it sort of looked like there was nothing that TY could really do against that.
Yeah, I mean, at the later stages, it seemed like DRG was kind of playing with TY at that point. So, yeah, I mean, DRG, I'm sure he's like feeling very confident right now. Momentum is on his side. That was a very good win there. But TY, he's a previous GSL Code S champion for a reason. It's because this guy is no joke, and it is very possible for him to tie up the series. Now it's going to be on Lightshade though, a little bit of a closer, smaller map, and so things like maybe a tank push with Marines might be very effective, but we shall see. I mean, I've definitely seen Banshees being used and utilized on this map as well, as there is I guess not as quite as a lot of dead airspace between the natural and the dirt, but sometimes you do see like players like Innovation or something kind of utilize the Banshee play with Cloak.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm sure a lot of Zerg players out there know the pain of, hearing that Banshee fire, looking around, seeing that little shimmer, and not having a Spore or Overseers in that moment. And just, losing a whole mineral line. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, I did not account for that. Looks like I lose.
Alright. Overlord does have eyes on these Hellions and their move out. So, DRG should be very well prepared for these. Currently just gonna drone up as he does confidently rely on his queens to deflect these. There's only 2 Hellions, so not too scary of a number.
Now, I do like what TY is going for. It looks like he's doing a Widowmine drop, right? We see the single medevac, we see the additional 2 third and fourth Widowmines being produced. Like you said, those Hellions were shooed away by the queens. That was all that was really needed to put them in their place and say, nope, you are not getting in here. And now this medevac is out, waiting for the 4th Widowmine, and it will head out. Now, this is very interesting. I don't think we, see this very typically against Zerg from the Terran. Yeah, I think something like a 2-1 is more common.
Yeah, it's almost like a TVP build actually, where they would drop these Widowmines and try to attack with the Hellions at the same time. Now, look at this Overlord spread though. DRG has very good map vision, especially with the Overlord speed researching.
Oh, decent split on the drones, making sure that they are not targeted. Now, we do see a cute bit of micro with the Widowmine, making sure that it doesn't fire preemptively. Now, of course, it still only gets 1 kill, but we in the meantime do see some more Widowmines being dropped at the main base location. Now, is this final Widowmine going to go off? Nope, it looks like there are enough Lings to finally kill it, as the rest of the Widowmines are cleaned up, I believe. Only 1 left in the main. Now, if it resets, then it does actually have potential for a lot of damage. Oh, I love this. The 4 Hellions being picked up by the remaining medevac and actually going into the main.
Unfortunately, the Lings were actually on their way to clean up the remaining Widow Mine, so these Hellions. Oh my god, even TY is like, what in the world? I mean, do you have like map hack or something? Because I thought I wasn't scouted with these Hellions, but yeah, unfortunately the Lings were actually went back to attack the Widow Mine, but inadvertently did run and catch the Hellions at the same time. So far, DRG holding off very well against this 4 Widow Mine, 1 medevac, 4 Hellions, all for 7 drones. I think DRG is going to be pretty satisfied with that.
Yeah, if I were playing that game, I would definitely be satisfied because that was such a clean getaway with the Lings coming up into the main and just making sure that absolutely everything went down. We saw that very convenient Spore Crawler positioning as well, making sure that medevac did not survive as well. Now these Hellbats are going to come in here, but it looks like 5 Queens, 5 Queens are nothing to stop that, and already these Hellbats are being targeted down. 2 of them already going down. Looks like the rest of them are just going to go back home. No Banelings required. You just have Queens and, some residual Lings. That should be enough.
Apologize for the little vehicle background noise. Hopefully that wasn't too bad, but yeah, so far DRG holding off very well, but a little bit of nice pickoff from TY, where it comes to a point where I don't think TY is just like completely far behind. I still think it's anyone's game, as it looks like TY is going to go ahead and start establishing his 3rd base.
I like that. Very cheeky, just putting down an Overlord with a little bit of creep, making sure that orbital is delayed for a little bit longer. Even following it up with, a decent group of Lings just to make sure that they can sort of get some SCVs. Not quite gonna happen. We did see a cute little interaction there with the Hellions being morphed into Hellbats, being morphed back into Hellions, and then the Lings, just trying to poke and see what kind of damage they might possibly be able to do. But yeah, it looks like we're headed into another straight macro game.
Yeah, and DRG going back to his bread and butter. We did see how he was so comfortable with his Baneling Mutalisk play at the last game, and he's going for the same exact composition once again. Now, looks like TY is attacking here onto the middle, trying to clear up some creep, but he does not want to overextend to the point where he gets surrounded, because those Mutalisks are popping and those Banelings are popping too. Central Fugal Hooks about to finish as well. DRG, okay, there we go. Baneling's gonna roll on here and clean up the majority of those Marines.
Wow, DRG holding like a champ, just like before, and this time, unlike last game, he was not severely supply blocked, and so those mutas were able to pop out all at the same time. Now, it looks like this double drop will be picked off as well. Not, at the cost of many mutas, but still some did go down. Now, it looks like TY is going to follow up with yet another push. I do like this Widow Mine move, right? Widow Mines are definitely the key to this Terran army, being able to stave off the waves of Lingbane and the mutas even, right? So they sort of counter everything in the Zerg's main force, but now we're going to have to wait and see. Can DRG hold off? Excellent splits from TY, costing DRG just a few Banelings, but we're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's really going to come down to the splits right now. DRG is biding his time, trying to mass up enough of Banelings here to defend, but yeah, it's just really going to come down to these splits, maybe even some of these Widow Mine connections. And here we go. DRG going to go ahead and roll in, actually going to retreat. Oh, actually a nice Widow Mine connection on the front of Baneling lines there. And it's just the start of a snowball from TY.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing the start of something here. I mean, this is how it happens, Terran just gets one too many Widow Mine hits every single time they engage, and all of a sudden the Zerg is down 20 supply, right? That is not the case yet, but it could very soon be the case with just, some Lings, some mutas coming out by the skin of his teeth. These Queens, however, have been providing a very good anchor, but I don't know about this. 1-1 is finally going to finish for the Zerg, but these Widow Mines, I mean, you do not want to allow them to fire.
Alright, counterattack does get 8 SCVs, but the main question is, can he clean up the rest here at the middle? And it looks like a convincing yes. DRG has enough on the ground, and that is it. GG. DRG will take the series 2-0.